question, Coach, general opening statement.
Yeah, first off, congratulations to OU. They certainly earned it this weekend, and they've got a great program. They're extremely well coached on both sides of the baseball. Skip does a great job, and with the pitchers, and Reggie's outstanding with the hitters. So they're the real deal, and they will be plenty ready for Omaha, and just an incredible last few weeks of hosting a regional and then a super, and so many people that did so much behind the scenes to make it happen. So thank you to everyone at KU for making it such an incredible last couple weeks. I'm really proud of these guys. You know, I could break down this game and the things that went wrong yesterday and today, but I just told them after the game that I'm incredibly proud of them, and we've brought this program to a pretty special place, and it's because of who they are as baseball players, but way more who they are as men. And I couldn't be more proud of them. And my only regret is that we don't get to play more baseball together because they're a special group.
Questions for student athletes? Name, affiliation?
Thanks, Matt Tate, R1S1 Sports. For Bodie and Tyson, what was that like to have to go through that last night, the reset, knowing you were going to get another chance to play, having to get your minds right, whatever it was? What was that process like for you guys?
Our attitude going into it was just, as long as we have an out left, we have a chance. And that's kind of what we're trying to preach. No matter what we came back to the score, as long as we had one out to fight with, our season was still alive.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a blessing in a sense, because it was like a reset button. It was almost like starting a brand new game the next day. So it was different, but felt like it was a gift.
Yeah, and Bodie, you said last week that you're a pitcher, not a closer, not a starter, nothing, just a pitcher. What was that like to get extended work today, and obviously to know last night that you could prepare that way?
Just doing whatever I could to give our team a chance. So exactly like I said, I'm just a pitcher. I'm not a closer. I'm not a starter. I'm just wherever they put me in there.
And Dom, if you could, and any of the other two players that want to take it too, can you just talk about the moment out there in right field after the game, hugs? Obviously, season's over. You guys all know that. But what was that like, just to experience that with these guys that you've been with this whole time?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, obviously, I've been here with the coaches for all 3 years. Daniel Trumper, he was on the team my freshman year too, so it was good to see him out there. And I don't know, I hate to say it, but like it happens every year. Like, the season comes to an end, and this one just happened to be like the last college season. So, I mean, it's been awesome with these guys the whole year, and I mean, it was pretty heartfelt there at the end.
Jordan Gusky, Topeka Capital Journal. For any of the players during the rain delay, what were you guys doing to, I don't know, stay ready or just to relax? And then when that second delay hit, did you guys think you were done and playing today, or did you think you might come back that night?
To be completely honest with you, I went in the indoor and I watched Love Island with a couple of teammates. So, yeah, that's my true, honest report. UK or USA?
Hey guys, Taylor Kaufman, KMBC 9 in Kansas City. Wondering, for team, coach, whoever wants it, when you look back on this team this season, 5 years down the road, 10 years, 15 years, what are you going to remember about this team? What's going to stick with you?
The memories outside of baseball, the memories that we had off the field, in the locker room, can't take those away no matter if you win the last game or lose the last game. It's been a special season, special players. I love every single one of the teammates that we did it with, too.
Yeah, for me, definitely just going to remember all the players and all the moments we had together. Looking into this season where we had 8 returners maybe, everybody knew, and just how we came together as a team and the culture that we set. It was beautiful, and it was amazing to develop lifelong friendships with these guys.
Tyson, I know that home run you hit today probably was a little hollow, but you did look like you were enjoying yourself on the trot. Added to your record, it was a good moment in a rough weekend. How much did you enjoy taking that moment in?
Yeah, like I said, as long as we have an out left on the scoreboard, felt like we had a chance. So rounding the bases, I thought that would be the spark that we needed, maybe get something going. didn't work out that way, but it was a good feeling to go out with a bang.
And what do you make of their pitching and your at bats? Not just yours, the whole team this weekend. Obviously, it was a tough weekend.
Yeah, like Fitz said, they're a special team. There's a reason they're going to Omaha. Wish them nothing but the best over there. They executed their pitches. They executed their at bats all weekend, and kudos to them. Tip of the cap. Good luck to OU.
Can any of you players talk about yesterday in particular, but Saturday night too, when you host a super regional here for the first time and you look around the park, and were you guys able to take that in and look at the crowd and just soak that moment in and see what that was like?
It was an incredible moment to look back on home opening weekend, St. Thomas, and what the crowd looked like then, and to what we worked so hard for and what I felt like we earned getting a crowd like that. It was such an amazing feeling. It was unbelievable. I couldn't ask for a better support system with KU fans and athletics.
Henry Greenstein, Lawrence Journal World. Dom, you've been asked similar stuff before, but looking back on where it was when you started here and where you're concluding this season now, why do you think the program has been able to take such strides in these last few years to get to the point that it's at currently?
I think it's a big part of Coach Fitz and the culture that he's brought here. I think him preaching for all of us to be great teammates, it's been an incredible improvement for all of us, because my freshman year compared to now, like, our team chemistry is way better than what it was. And for us just bringing 8 guys back from last year's team, the way that we've come, it's been pretty cool.
All right, thank you, players. I appreciate you. And now we have questions for Coach.
Yeah. Fitz, it just seemed like there was never really a time where you guys were able to string too many hits together or get too many outs in a row on the other end. Just, was there any time where you really felt like things were starting to head your guys' way? And if not, just why do you think that was?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always optimistic that, we're a leadoff guy away from getting on and getting something rolling. And we've scored, so late in so many games. And we have to be the greatest 8th inning scoring team in college baseball history. I mean, I swear we scored in the 8th inning of every game this year. And so there was always that belief. We just couldn't string it together. And when you're chasing runs like that, whether it's, down 8 or down whatever, you have to play for a big inning, which really limits the creativity that you can do. And not that we were ever incredibly, creative with stealing and hitting and running, but we just couldn't get into a groove. I certainly felt like we were always 1 inning away, but they just did a really good job of executing, and we just couldn't get it rolling.
What were you guys evaluating during both delays yesterday, and I guess why was the decision made to suspend it, and do you think it had an effect on the game at all in terms of the final score?
Like, what were we evaluating in terms of moves that we would make? Yeah, it's complicated, Jordan. I think it's the NCAA, it's ESPN, it's certainly the opinion of the coaching staff, and I think I've been in multiple of these, and the coaches are always on the same page. You just want to do the best thing for your starting pitcher, so you don't have to get them up and down. You don't want to start a game and be 20 minutes in and have to shut it down. So the input that we as coaches, Coach Johnson, myself, would give would just be like, what's the window we have to play? And all signs pointed to a window after 7:30. Now, obviously, that didn't work out, but it's a tough job. Our site admin was great. Kirk Mason, he's a veteran that's been doing this for 30-some years, and working with the National Weather Service and ESPN. So it's a lot, and just weather in the Midwest in June.
You just get too late last night to continue to play.
Yeah, and the Lightning kept setting it back. So I think we were all clear at, I want to say 10:20, and then we had another hit at and that's when they banged it, and it was smart because there was another hit at 11:07, and then subsequent ones, and it was raining at my house at 2 in the morning. So I think they made the right call.
Jacob Webb, University Daily Kansan. Coach, I know we've asked you a lot about Tyson LeBlanc over the past few weeks, but you said last week he's going to play baseball for a long time. Can you just reflect on the year he had?
Yeah, he's really special, and as a baseball guy, it was really special to be a part of watching him in his ascent. He got better every day. I 100% knew he was going to hit a home run in that last at bat because of just the way he tracks pitches and the way he sees it and the way he works at it. So, he's so fun to coach and such a great competitor. And mentally, he's on a different level mentally from his peers in terms of how he goes about his work, how serious he is. Like, that's not coach speak talking about if we have one out left. Like, that is exactly who he is, and everywhere he's been, he's won, and he's going to continue to do that.
Fitz, did you just heard Bodie say it was kind of a reset opportunity. Was that a message that they took themselves? Did you guys preach that as a staff to them last night when you had that opportunity and knowing you were going to come back today?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of preaching that goes on in June. And we've been through, and we sat through 5.5 hours at K-State and had to come back and, play 4 to finish out a game. And so we've been through it a bunch. So I think they knew there wasn't a whole lot I had to say. I think they knew it was a reset. But, yeah, there was a quick message at the beginning of it and then after and just to try to get it back on track. And, 8-1 is doable. But, yeah.
Yeah, and just your perspective out there in right field with the hugs and are you taking all that in? Is that emotional for the head coach that brought all these guys together? And what was that like? What'd you see from those guys too of them soaking it up?
Yeah, that's what I watching them celebrate and celebrate's the wrong word, but celebrate the friendships and the time spent. And I think the fact that they care about each other the way they do is really special. So yeah, I've got months of processing now and figuring out next steps and so there's the administrative hat and the coaching hat that's still on. But yeah, there's a human element to not want to say goodbye to a lot of those guys.
Jack Ritter, 24/7 Sports. Dom touched on how much this team, the culture, the program has changed over the years. Can you touch on how he's changed, not just as a pitcher, but as a man, as a teammate over the last few years?
Yeah, Dom's it's a trick question because Dom hasn't changed one bit from the first time I met him. He's as consistent a human being as I've ever met. He's grown a lot and just as a human being and how he works and how he goes about it and he's a big reason why when he says that the culture and the team chemistry and all that stuff is special this year. He's a big reason why because we had very few returners back and those guys were huge in bridging that.
And then you mentioned it a moment ago, but what is the next step for this program as you enter the offseason?
Well, we've come a long way in a short amount of time. I think back to 4 years ago and first it's almost 4 years on the dot and I don't think I would have said we're going to win the Big 12 regular season, win the conference tournament, host a regional, win the toughest regional in the NCAA tournament, and then host a super. That would have been not something that I would have predicted would happen in 4 years. So we've come through a lot of hard work and incredible support from our administration and my assistants, and then obviously the players are the ones who have done it. So the next step is sustainability, just like last year the step of sustainability to be in the NCAA tournament. And so I think that the hard part about this is that the carrot is always there. So I was devastated at DMAC in 2011. I thought we could win a national championship, and I was at home watching the semifinal that we should have been playing. And then Kelly said, "What are you doing? Just torturing yourself?" I said, "Well, kind of." I said, "We should be playing." And she said, you know, I just shouldn't talk about my my family ever at this thing, but you know, she said if you win that, then the next step is you got to repeat, and then you got to win 3 in a row. And so the carrot for me is. It's a lot bigger than baseball, and it's the time, it's the experience and the journey, and this was a wild one, and one I'm incredibly grateful for, and yeah, so you just don't want it to end, because I know that you don't win a national championship and then everything's fixed. Like, to me, it's the journey. It's watching guys like this grow up, and it's watching guys grow in their faith, and it's all those things. So, no, I got off track there, and I brought up my family, so that's no one else's fault here. I did that, but yeah, we got to continue to build, and we'll continue to do that.